संगम युग में प्यारे बाबा, संगम युग में प्यारे बाबा, हमें आपसे बेहद प्यार मिला, मिला, हमें आपसे बेहद प्यार मिला।
रिश्ता अर्थात जिसका पुराने संस्कार और संसार से रिश्ता नहीं, चेक करो पुराने संसार की कोई भी आकर्षण चाहे संबंध रूप में, चाहे अपने देह की तरफ आकर्षण, वह किसी देहधारी व्यक्ति के तरफ आकर्षण, कोई वस्तु के तरफ आकर्षण कितने परसेंट में रही, ऐसे ही पुराने संस्कार की आकर्षण चाहे संकल्प रूप में, वृत्ति के रूप में, वाणी के रूप में, संबंध संपर्क अर्थात कर्म के रूप में कितनी परसेंट रही, रिश्ता अर्थात डबल लाइट, निजी लाइट स्वरूप स्मृति स्वरूप में कहाँ तक रहा, साथ साथ लाइट अर्थात हल्कापन, स्व के परिवर्तन के पुरुषार्थ में कहाँ तक
Om Shanti. Increase your account of accumulation. Make a saving scheme. Elevated reward. If you are unable to accumulate physical wealth, then you will be deceived at a time of need. Similarly, here too, if you haven't accumulated the treasures, then when a big test paper comes, the mind and intellect will seem empty and you won't have power. So, learn to accumulate. Let your account of elevated thoughts be full, not empty. This treasure of elevated thoughts will be the basis of your elevated reward. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 24. Increase your account of accumulation. Make a saving scheme. Today's topic, elevated reward. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Then, okay, everyone looks well. Mm. Baba had been comparing two types of wealth. Of course, there are many, but in this one, a vect signal, Baba is talking about the wealth of thoughts and physical material wealth. Now, Avek Babdada gave the signal to be double light. And Baba had been saying so much not to have wasteful thoughts. That means use full stop. And then Baba gives the example of 0 point. You use point for full stop, but also this 0 can keep adding your figures, right? If it's 10, then put another is 100, put another is 1000. So it's two methods. Somewhere I put full stop first. That means you are not wasting anymore. And I know that it takes practice. I think most of you drive. You learn many things in driving. But one of the most important is if you are asked to stop somewhere, it should just stop. If you go even 1 feet further, there is problem. There could be problem. You could hit someone, you could hit a pole or something. So quite a good practice of just put full stop. Stop means stop. Now, deeply within understanding of trust in Baba, trust in Rama, just total trust, whatever is going to happen will definitely be beneficial. It takes time to understand the process of many things. But this deep faith within the self, who is going to make it happen, Baba? Who is going to get it done, Baba? Baba also is a point, right? So when you are saying Baba, you are putting point. And that point is plus. That means you are accumulating. So when Baba says, remember me, that is the best way to accumulate. That means if you put full stop, but don't remember Baba, you will save wastage, means you won't waste it, but not accumulate. So we all have to practice. Because by remembering Baba, there is also lightness. Because deeply, in a way, you are surrendering. And when you surrender, then you don't have to be heavy about anything. Every time there is any situation, some more deeper understanding of human nature, of circumstances, we learn, we become mature. So, full stop, but then remember Baba. Because what Baba is saying that if suddenly there is a big expense and you don't have savings, you have to go for loan, right? If you have good credit line, you get loan, otherwise you don't get even loan. So you feel like very desperate. You feel empty in the sense of you run out of the methods. You say, oh, I don't know what is next, what I should try, what I should do. These kinds of questions or thoughts start coming in the mind. So accumulation is happening through remembrance, not just putting the full stop. It's like if there is any leak, you can close it. But what is next? No? You have to make it operational. Anything you work on, but further you have to see is it working well or not. So one of the very beautiful way, am I feeling empty? Intellect, mind. Yes, sometimes it does happen. Because you don't have enough saving. It's like a lawyer or good student. One of the important thing in student life is dictionary. Because anytime you want to see the meaning of any word or even to find a word. So Baba is saying, have the stock of elevated thoughts. Now I want to think elevated, but I don't have stock. So I don't know what to think. So we shouldn't reach to a point where I am empty. Empty means I don't know what to do next, right? So I was realizing that accumulation of elevated thoughts, that means you had been in any various situations always thought elevated or positive and get deposited. That means you have enough words in your dictionary. You don't run out of the words or uh, elevated thoughts. It's very subtle. Let's say one simple word, thank you, right? We had been saying for anything, we say thank you. So you never run out of word thank you, right? Or if there is anything, you immediately say, sorry, I shouldn't have. Mm. But any words, any kind of inner response, if you don't practice, you won't be able to think at the right time. That's what Baba means, that if there is expenditure and you don't have saving, so I see saving more as habit of thinking elevated. It's very interesting because deeply within, a beautiful insight will appear. If you have stock accumulation, but also in gross words we can say the habit. That is why since we are children, then spiritually also grown-ups, Baba keeps saying practice bodiless states, practice soul consciousness, be in soul conscious. How many times in Murli Baba talks about it? Why? At least I am listening. Listening also is accumulation. And then speaking or thinking, all that is accumulation. Do it anyway. So then at the right time, you will say, yes, I have enough practice to be in soul consciousness because of accumulation. So accumulation at present is to have practice. That means you have done enough number of times that it automatically emerges in your thoughts. But if it doesn't emerge, then what happens? You like feel you have run out of method. And that is why really we have to use time in a worthwhile way. Yes, we have so much to do, so much karma yoga. But even if you have to speak out, you have to sing, or you have to do anything, you must do it because that's the accumulation. There are some souls, they want to feel light or joyful. So they start singing. And while singing, they're having a super sense of joy, they're having happiness, and what happens that their positive and pure energy awakens. So there is a resource, but you have to keep increasing that resource. Any resource will have limit, right? If we do not accumulate. Because whole thing is kind of in a cycle. everything, and everything, whether it is nature, especially nature, it is eternal, but it has a beginning and the end. Everything, human life, there is beginning, there is end. Even it's eternal, there is somewhere culmination, right? We call it lifespan. And when there is lifespan finishes, then you start another journey, new birth. So whatever we are cultivating now, like you just cultivate about peace, that internally, deeply, I will maintain peace. And you do it for a week, two, and try to do it regularly at the right time. You will be very stable. Stable in what? Peace. Stable in what? Power. Depends on whichever virtue, whichever power is required, you have to be stable. And then Baba is also saying that your future fruition depends also on how much accumulation you have. No, you have to be a sovereign, king, emperor, and you are not used to be seated on the throne. So you will sit and get up and sit and again would like to not sit, get up again. Because you're not used to it. For anything in life, accumulation is power of practice. Whenever you have a minute to, Baba talked about 5 minutes per hour. Any time, even a minute, is Lord, do it. Or just be in soul consciousness, even for a minute, it's quite a lot. And it will get accumulated. I remember that some mothers, old mothers, so sometimes children leave coins here, they leave single dollars here. So this grandmother only collects them and she gets lot. And she doesn't get and from anywhere. So she will bring to Baba from where you got it. They say these days, if your 50-cent coin falls on the ground, you generally don't want to take it. It's all right. So night time, when those people who clean and sweep, they get buckets full of coins. Because when they fall, people don't want to take it. So they get lot of coins. So accumulation, sometimes I'm surprised that how much, if they change it in dollars, still will be quite a lot. So accumulate. Even you find sometimes you are not in that stage, but create it, create it. Thoughts we can create, isn't it? So create the thoughts, elevate it, accumulate so you are not deceived or feel empty anytime. Suddenly you do feel like you don't have that sparkle. You are okay, but not necessarily sparkle. And we want that sparkle all the time, right? And that's possible when you have saving. Oh, Shanti.
ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। बीती बातों पे बिंदु धरो, बीती बातों पे बिंदु धरो। बिंदु बनो से याद करो, बिंदु बनो से याद करो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। बीती बातों पे बिंदु धरो, बिंदु बनो से याद करो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। ज्योति बिंदु शिव भगवान, खुद को आत्मा बिंदु मान। ज्योति बिंदु शिव भगवान, खुद को आत्मा बिंदु मान। बिंदु को मत छोटा जान, बिंदु है ये सिंधु समान। इसके सहारे भव से उतरो, इसके सहारे भव से उतरो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। बिंदु है ये बिंदिया श्रृंगार, बिंदु को कर जी भर प्यार। बिंदु है ये बिंदिया श्रृंगार, बिंदु को कर जी भर प्यार। बिंदु में दो विश्व विसार, बिंदु में अपना संसार। बिंदु संग रहो ना किससे डरो, बिंदु संग रहो ना किससे डरो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। ये तीन बिंदु मत बिसरो, मत बिसरो। बीती बातों पे बिंदु धरो, बिंदु बनो से
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone.
Increase your account of accumulation. Make a saving scheme. Elevated reward. If you are unable to accumulate physical wealth, then you will be deceived at a time of need. Similarly, here too, if you haven't accumulated the treasures, then when a big test paper comes, the mind and intellect will seem empty and you won't have power. So, learn to accumulate. Let your account of elevated thoughts be full, not empty. This treasure of elevated thoughts will be the basis of your elevated reward. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Avekti Parivar. So tomorrow is Saturday. Our schedule will be from Amritvela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Meditation will start at 6 a.m. followed by Hindi Sakar Murli. Hindi Avek Murli from 7 to 8:30 a.m. And then tomorrow is Saturdays Avek the children class from 1:30 to 3 p.m. And then Awake the youth class from 3 to 4 p.m. And then evening meditation will start at 6 p.m. followed by Hindi series, meditation commentary by Didi, English series, and Awake the journey. So now let's start our Awake the journey. Welcome to Awake the journey. Awake Murlis from 1969, inspiring us to change from Brahmin to angel.
Om Shanti. December 6th, 1969. Avyat Murli. Make your intellect infinite and far-sighted with an easy nature. What special fragrance and what special attraction is there in today's gathering? Everyone's love is there anyway. Why have you been called? Should one think that all those that have come here today have come prepared to go back home? Those who are ever ready are always prepared. As soon as they are called, they are able to pack up everything and take a high jump. You saw in a practical form how much time Baba took to answer the call of the drama, did you not? On the one side, you have to pack up everything, and on the other side, you have to take a high jump. You saw both these scenes. Why did this happen in the drama? In order to teach you. You will have to be ever ready to this extent. Now, the line of those who are ever ready has started. Anyone can claim a number in this line. Whatever is in everyone's thoughts will never happen. What is to happen will happen suddenly. This custom and system of the Brahmin clan has already begun. There is a very deep secret within the drama as to why this custom and system has been created. So make such effort in advance so that you are instantly able to pack up and take a high jump. Who are the ones who have the power to pack up? Those who have an easy nature are easily able to adopt the power to pack up. Those who have an easy nature will also be cooperative with others. Those who have love for all will always receive cooperation from all. This is why they are easily able to confront everything or pack up. To the extent that their nature is easy, Maya will confront them less. They are loved by all. Those with an easy nature never have waste thoughts, nor is their time wasted. Because of not having waste thoughts, their intellect remains broad and far-sighted, and therefore no obstacle can confront them. The more there is easiness, the greater the cleanliness. Cleanliness attracts everyone towards itself. Cleanliness means honesty as well as being clean. There will be honesty and cleanliness only when you have an easy nature. Those who have an easy nature can adopt many forms. You can give any form to something that is soft. So, although you have become gold, you must now melt that gold in the fire so that it can be molded. Due to weakness in this, there is a lack of success in service. You have to come to the bhatti to learn to mold yourself. One is the power to mold, and the other is the power to apply a break. How much time should you take to mold yourself? Although you know how to mold, you sometimes take a long time. You have to have such thoughts that you don't take a long time. The moment you have a thought, it should take a practical form. You have to emerge from the bhatti in such a stage that each of your thoughts and words take a practical form. Those people attain occult powers, whereas here, you attain powers through yoga. You have to learn what the powers of remembrance are. The thoughts, words, and actions of those who attain success are successful. They will not have a single waste thought. They will only have thoughts that are successful. Those who are serviceable will not have any thoughts that are not successful. And they should not have any thoughts that are not going to be successful. Each thought of yours has value. But only when you give value to yourself will others recognize the value of you jewels. The face of each of you, when you emerge from this bhatti, should be like a living museum. You have built many museums, but now each of you has to make your face like a living museum. How many images are there in this living museum of the face? Which images will you place in the living museum of this face? First of all, they position the images in the museums, and then they decorate them. Then they have an inauguration, and then they ask others for their opinions. So, there are three main images in your living museum: the forehead, the eyes, and the mouth. It is only through these that others can know your consciousness, your attitude, your vision, and your words. There are the three main pictures of the Trimurti, Lakshmi and Narayan, and the ladder. Just as the entire knowledge is contained in these, in the same way, these images are eternally fitted in the face. The image should be decorated in such a way that it attracts others to itself from a distance, in such a way that others cannot stay without being attracted. When you people build museums, you try to decorate the pictures in such a way that they attract from a distance, so that you do not have to call anyone to come. In the same way, each of you has to prepare your museum in this way. You have to think in depth about whatever you have heard and merge it into your every vein. To the extent that you think about it in depth, to that extent, you will bring it about in action and into your activity in a practical form. In order to reveal those sanskars, go into the depth of each aspect and merge each of those sanskars into your every vein. What do you have to do in order to incorporate one thing into something else? Firstly, you have to put it in very deep. And secondly, you have to press it down. You have to grind it in. To grind it in means to make every aspect refined. You have to emerge from this bhakti with the promise of bringing about those sanskars in a practical form. To the extent that you reveal the Father, to that extent, you will reveal yourself. Included within your revelation of the Father is your own revelation. You have to become like this and make others the same. Do you understand? There is such power in this gathering that you can do whatever you want. If you just have the thought, you can even change the world. You are such powerful souls. But what powerful thought must you have now? You have to refresh yourself with that once again. It is for Madhuban that it is remembered. Not just anyone can step inside. Madhuban is the line of fortune. No one else can step inside. Bab Dada explains to all of you that this is the line of love, and Bab Dada lives within the boundary of this love. No one else can enter, not even if he were to cut off his head. It is not a small thing to receive this love in the corporeal form. As you progress further, when you see others weep for it, then you will have value for it. They will fall at your feet weeping. They will be thirsty for one drop of love and will fall at your feet. All of you have merged the ocean of love into yourselves, whereas they will remain thirsty for even one drop. Who can have such a fortune? No one else can have the happiness and sweetness of all relationships with which you souls are filled. So, within this drama, always keep your elevated fortune in front of you. When you keep it in front of you, you will automatically be reminded about giving a return. Acha, Om Shanti.
Increase your account of accumulation. Make a saving scheme. Elevated reward. If you are unable to accumulate physical wealth, then you will be deceived at a time of need. Similarly, here too, if you haven't accumulated the treasures, then when a big test paper comes, the mind and intellect will seem empty, and you won't have power. So, learn to accumulate. Let your account of elevated thoughts be full, not empty. This treasure of elevated thoughts will be the basis of your elevated reward.
जमा का खाता बढ़ाओ, बचत की स्कीम बनाओ। श्रेष्ठ प्रारब्ध जैसे स्थूल धन में अगर जमा नहीं होता है तो समय पर धोखा खा लेते हैं। ऐसे यहाँ भी अगर खजाने जमा नहीं हैं तो जब बड़ी परीक्षा आए तो मन और बुद्धि खाली खाली लगेंगी, शक्ति नहीं होंगी। इसलिए जमा करना सीखो। श्रेष्ठ संकल्पों का खाता भरपूर हो। खाली खाली नहीं हो। यही श्रेष्ठ संकल्पों का खजाना श्रेष्ठ प्रारब्ध का आधार बनेगा। ओम शांति।